Patty Simpson with Simpson Math. In statistics, there are many different ways to perform studies. So when we have a question that we want answered and we gather data, there are lots of different ways to go about that, depending on the question we're asking. Let's look at a couple of different ways to do those studies. First, let's look at a cross-sectional study versus a longitudinal study. A cross-sectional study is just a study that happens on a snapshot in time. It's when we go out as researchers and collect data at a specific defined time, and we get a snapshot in time of our data. So, for instance, a Washington Post ABC News poll taken in September of 2009 showed 66% of Americans had been hurt financially by the recession. We get a snapshot in time of September 2009 of what's happening financially to Americans. Here's another example. Researchers determined the number of glaciers on the mainland of Greenland in October of 2018. Again, we're only gathering data here in October. We're getting a snapshot of what the glaciers look like there in October 2018. Many of our political polls are this type of cross-sectional study, where we're just getting a snapshot of what's happening at that moment in time. We can compare that to a longitudinal study. A longitudinal study happens over a long period of time. It's when researchers are looking over a long period of time and collecting data over that period of time to see if they can find some sort of pattern or some sort of links to behaviors over that time. So for instance, researchers wanted to determine the effects that social behaviors in teens have on health in adulthood. A group of 15,000 students was chosen and followed with periodic interviews over the course of 14 years. So they watched them from their teenage years into adulthood to see what behaviors they had when they were teenagers that affected their health when they were adults. And you can see over that 14 years, it was a long amount of time to follow them. Here's another example. Researchers collect data on the number and size of glaciers on the mainland of Greenland from 1900 to 2000. So now we're looking at those glaciers over a long period of time. We've collected our cross-sectional data all along for a long period of time. So now it's a longitudinal study, and we can look at patterns that have happened to those glaciers over time. So the difference between cross-sectional is it's just a snapshot in time, whereas longitudinal happens over a long period of time. Math made simple at Simpson Math. Thanks for watching.